All right, so being in North Carolina, transition zone, we can grow all different types of grass, grow all different types of weeds too. But bottom line, we can grow all different types of grass. And unfortunately, even though we can grow all different types of grass, we really don't, we're not well suited for any of them. We don't grow them well. Whether you're dealing with warm season turf, it's going to struggle for the winter. Cool season turf, it's going to struggle for the summer. So, we're just kind of up against it. No matter which way you go, there is no perfect grass. Anything you try to grow in this area, it's going to be a lot of work. But bottom line, warm season varieties of turf grass might include, and the most common in this area is going to be Bermuda. With Bermuda, there's everything ranging from common Bermuda to all different sorts of hybrids. There's just a ridiculous number of cultivars of Bermuda grass that are available out there. Big thing to keep in mind with Bermuda, even the cultivars that are, I'll say, advertised as being more shade tolerant, they are not shade grasses. They are, by all means, sun-loving turf types. Really kind of the same with zoysia. Zoysia grass is a little more shade tolerant than Bermuda. And unfortunately, I've seen a lot of times where it's marketed as, well, this is a great shade grass. Well, that is absolutely not the case. Zoysia is not by any means a shade grass. It does a little better than Bermuda, but that being said, it is still not a shade grass. And then there's centipede, which again does not like the shade. And probably the least common in our area is going to be St. Augustine. St. Augustine is the one kind of outlier as far as warm season turf types. It will actually grow pretty well in the shade. The bigger issues that we kind of deal with it here, things like chinch bugs, and it doesn't really like our clay soil all that well. Doesn't really like our winters. Can be sensitive to certain types of weed control. So there's some drawbacks to St. Augustine, clearly. And that's probably why it's one of the least popular ones out there. I know that currently NC State's working on some stuff to refine and just really try to get some St. Augustine that's going to be really well suited for our area. So that's something to be looking forward to. But right now, like I said, of your warm season turf types, it's by far the least common in our area. But it is the only one that really does handle shade pretty well. As far as cool season turf, you've got two types that we can grow in this area. Really, it's predominantly fescue, and then some people want to try to grow bluegrass. Unfortunately, bluegrass on its own does not fare very well in this area. Really, fescue is much better suited to our environment. So even though you may see some of the benefits of bluegrass, the fact that it does kind of slowly creep and crawl and spread and self-repair, it just has so many other drawbacks that you don't want to have an exclusively bluegrass lawn. There are a lot of bluegrass fescue blends that are out there. Particularly things that are grown on sod farms. A lot of times when people get sod, it's actually a combination of bluegrass and fescue. And that can look nice and do fairly well. Unfortunately, one drawback to having bluegrass involved with fescue is that bluegrass is susceptible to some different diseases that would not normally impact fescue. So whoever's caring for your lawn needs to be aware and knowledgeable enough to say, look, you've got bluegrass, so we might need to switch up our disease control program. But ultimately, fescue is the primary cool season turf in our area. And it can do well. A lot of people talk about the fact that, the summers are too hot for fescue. And the summers are hot, don't get me wrong. But fescue can survive, particularly if you're willing to give it a little water and a little disease control. And bottom line, if you want to work with fescue and try to keep it looking nice, there are things that can be done, and we can definitely help with that.